Hello. Forgive me for the way I sound. I have a cold. And for the way I look, I was in the hospital about a week ago. But this message is so important and has been on my mind since I got out of the hospital that I can't hold it anymore. I can't wait to fully be back on my feet. I need to get this out there now. I was in the hospital about a week ago due to a case of acute diverticulitis. For those of you out there who have never had it, it's similar to a case of appendicitis, but it's your intestines and it hurts like heck. I was in the emergency room for about 12 hours and it came shift time where one doctor comes, the other one goes. And the doctor came in, the new doctor introduced himself, looking at his clipboard, and he said, "So you're bedbound and he started listing off supplements I take and whatnot. I honestly don't even remember what else because at that moment I heard bedbound. I said, "Excuse me?" I said, "I'm not bedbound." I said, "I'm paralyzed. I'm not bedbound." So he looks at my chart and he said, "Oh, well, the doctor before put you down as bedbound." Well, the doctor before spent about, out of those 12 hours that I was there, the doctor before me, before this last doctor, who only spent about an hour there before I was released, the first doctor spent 11 hours with me. And out of those 11 hours, I think he talked to me for about 5 minutes. And he was horrible and condescending. And regardless of the pain I was in, I gave it right back to him. But he would not listen to anything I had to say. He was just absolutely terrible. And just trying to describe myself, my symptoms, he just treated me, he had me in a box. He had me in a disabled box, just like of other minorities in this country that are put in a box and they're labeled and they're all alike. Whether you're black, whether you're disabled, whatever minority you are, whether you're a woman, whether you're of a certain age, we all have our minorities within ourselves. And I happen to be a woman, and I happen to be disabled. So this doctor, the first one, assumed I was bedbound. Now, anybody who knows me that bedbound is the last thing I am. When I went to the emergency room, I was in bedbound. I was doubled over in pain, hugging my stomach. I had gotten up for the day, but my pain was so excruciating, and quite frankly, I was getting scared because I'd never experienced pain that bad. So we went to the ER. This doctor assumed because I was disabled and paralyzed that I laid in a bed all day. I was absolutely furious. The second doctor, even though I didn't spend much time with him, the time I did spend, he listened. He listened. I had been in pain all day. This other doctor thought I was drug-seeking, had drug-seeking behavior. When you take pain medicine on a regular basis, you build up a tolerance for it. So that when you are in extra pain, you need extra pain medicine. Wouldn't give it to me. It was absolutely horrible. That the first thing the second doctor did was get me where my pain was at least on the middle burner, where I could actually talk instead of just cry. And then he listened. He listened to what my daily habits were. He listened to how my body is injured, not sick, how I don't have any secondary issues, thank goodness, that come along with being injured. He listened, and he did not put me in a box. and I would not allow the first gentleman to put me in a box. After being there 11 and a half hours, this last doctor took the last half hour, and I made sure I defined me. I did not let that first man do that. And nobody should be defined by somebody else. You define you. You define who you are. You define what you're made of. Don't let anybody do that to you. That takes your personal power right away. And when your personal power is taken away, your confidence of who you are is taken away. And when your confidence is taken away, there's not much you can achieve. You have to be confident, and you have to know who you are, and you have to make sure people know who you are. Don't let anybody tell you who you are. And the second doctor was absolutely wonderful, and he listened, and he was enlightened, and he said, thank you for enlightening me. I've been a doctor X amount of years, and I've been guilty of this myself, assuming before listening. Such a switch from the first one to the second. So that is my message for today. You define you, nobody else. No matter who they are, no matter what kind of education they have, no matter if how close they are to you, even if they're family, unfortunately sometimes, you define you. Always, always. Don't let anybody take your personal power away. So, I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day. I apologize again for sounding like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and I'll see you again really soon. Take care.